Today we're working on this 2019 Volvo XC90. When they're driving, they're getting a battery warning coming on the dash, and we'll dive in and show you the warning. So this is the message that we're getting. It's the start stop, support battery, service required, and also a 12-volt battery critical failure code that the warning comes on. The customer did mention that they replaced the main battery and the warning still comes on. That's why they're here. Before we get too crazy in diagnosing, we're gonna check what's pretty common on these. This is the start stop battery, or the support battery. So we're gonna take this cover off. It's just these two 8mm bolts, and they're very long. So on the side there, I'm gonna carefully lift this cover off. So to the side, and in here is the battery, and we can already see right away this battery has a lot of corrosion all over this. We'll measure the voltage on it. I bet you it's way less than 12 volts. It is the 39th week of 2018, so it's the original battery. Let me go grab my voltmeter and I'll show you what we found. So with our meter hooked up, you can see we have less than 4 volts. That's a 12-volt battery. It should have at least 12.5 just sitting there and running about 14 volts or whatever the alternator is putting out. It should closely match the battery in the back. So we'll test that battery too, but since they said they replaced it, it should be good, but we'll double check it anyways to make sure the alternator is charging. And most likely this thing just needs a battery and a positive cable. There's also a reset procedure after you replace the battery that I'll show you too. So back here I've removed the floor panel. We removed this panel here to gain access to the battery. It is a new Volvo battery. With the car running, we have 14.7 volts, which is really good. So let's go compare to the front, and it should be pretty close to the same. So up front here, we're now hooked up to our battery, positive and negative, the car running, and we're only at 4.5 volts. So there's a major voltage difference there. This battery is just plain worn out. I'm assuming because they use their start-stop feature a lot, but we'll go ahead and replace the battery cable, and then we'll reset this module here, and I'll show you how to do that. We're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes. Just let all the control modules go to sleep, and then we're going to go ahead and pull the battery, the negative cable on the battery. There's a little twist lock under here. Twist, pull that panel out to get to our battery, and we're going to undo this negative post, and then we'll let that sit. And then when you go up front and pull the battery, the support battery, place the battery in the cable, and then I'll show you how to reset the battery control module that it's hooked up to. Okay, so we replaced the battery and the positive cable because it was pretty corroded really badly. I did notice that this new battery has a little bit higher rating, so maybe that's the difference. But so we're gonna hook it up to our meter here, and yeah, we're at 13 volts, which is a good start. So I've already started this once, and I know that it's at charging voltage is at 14.7 or something like that. So we know that we got it good and got it fixed. So here are the actual instructions on how to do the battery reset. This is from the Technical Journal 3424 1.22, which you can find this online. You can Google it and find it as well. And these are the codes that we had, and they're in the central electronic module, and they would not clear. They're permanent faults for sure. So after finding that bad battery and that bad cable, replacing it, this is how you do the battery reset. You disconnect the negative battery cable on the main battery in the back like we did. You remove the lower S connector, which is this one right here on the module. It's this bottom one. This is the lid that we pulled off to access the support battery. There's a connector here and a connector down here, and that's the one you disconnect, the very bottom one. Now you're going to disconnect it, and they say for 15 minutes, but we find it's more like an hour, and that resets the module. If you do it you can try 15 minutes and see and plug it back in and see if it works, but it's usually an hour. Then after you wait an hour, you reconnect, plug that connector back in, hook up your battery in the back, the main battery, and then start it up. And most of the time the codes are clear and the warning lights are out, but sometimes you have to erase the codes again, and then go drive it. And if you go drive it and the warning codes don't come back, which I guarantee they won't, then that's it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. And once again, here's a shot of the module, and that's the connector on the bottom. Pretty easy to unplug, and that's really it.